Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue to be reading for the Cancer idols. The Cancer season is here, so there's a lot of idols that are having their birthdays. So yes, today is the turn of Enhypen's Sunoo. So yes, let's begin with the cards that he got. He got the Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, the Chariot, Queen of Wands, and the Hangman. And from the Oracle, he got the card of Sun in Gemini, Versatility. So, yeah, I think that it's very, is very interesting. The two four cards, like in a sense that he got the first two cards are four, and and usually the four is a number of stability, is the number of also things being the same, and I think that he somehow had found a sort of like routine in his everyday life. I don't see him like being in conflict or being worried about something. Actually, he's very much stable, and I think that this is very, very interesting because it does show me a much more maturity when it comes to things happening around him. I think that he was able to ground himself. We start with the Four of Pentacles. So I sense that he had been trying to do things in a way that somehow it brings him a sort of tranquility, knowing that things are the same, and that, I don't know, what he has to do, it's pretty much settled. And also think that he learned to somehow stand his ground, to somehow like proclaim his space or his role. It's like, okay, this is what I do, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm going to be focusing my energy on, somehow like being like, okay, like this is my space. Like I would not, like also setting boundaries, like, okay, I will do what I have to do, but in these conditions, like following a certain routine. And I think that for him it had been relaxing. It had helped him to actually like contain a bit his anxiety, because I cannot help to see these cards and be like, okay, this guy definitely needs a sort of a sense of stability, because he's very anxious, and probably because he is a Cancer sun, so probably he tend, in the past he had this sort of like emotionality to himself, probably like being affected by a lot of things at the same time, and not being able to control his emotions, or not being able to see clearly, and separate himself from a situation. So now he's like, now I finally have a sort of like routine, and I'm able to find myself and being comfortable with it, and I want to repeat this all the time. And I think that this is where, the sort of like, I'm like, like, that's okay as long as you don't hold on too tight to the routine, that, life changes, events are unexpected sometimes. So I wonder what happens when he doesn't have the stability. I think that is working for the moment. For the moment, he's feeling like safe. He's feeling like, okay, like this is my space. Like I can move around here, and I don't know. Probably, I also think that he found a sort of activity or something that helps him to stay around. I don't know if it's therapy, or if something that somehow like helps him disconnect from drama. Um, because I sense, even though I don't have cards here, I sense that he has these moments where things can get chaotic in his head. He probably can get a bit paranoid sometimes, or a bit too sensitive. Um, that actually, it doesn't have to do with others. Maybe it has to do with a sort of like condition that he has. I don't know if he has like health issues or he worries about something. Probably also health is something that it's in his mind and it worries him. So there's this sense of like, okay, he has this new stability or he has this routine where probably he's taking care more of his health, his body, his mind. Everything is connected and he's doing better. Somehow it seems like he had found a sort of routine to cope with this. But yeah, it also advised him to slow down a bit, to know his limits, to know where, how much he can do and at how long he can do this, and sort of give him some structure to his life. I think that probably in the past he was the kind of guy that he was like, oh, no, I can do it all. I have the initiative. I want to, I don't want to disappoint others. This sort of being very much trying to get everything done. And now it's like, okay, let's be more down to earth and like let respect your body, respect your mind, like take your time. It's not necessary that you have to always be like energetic. Like you can slow down, you can be like yourself, and also acknowledging that probably he does need these sort of routines in his life. I don't know if he needs to do certain exercises or a certain routine, but this sort of helps him feel like less anxious. Definitely I think that it has to do with health. um, and here with the chariot in the middle, it's a beautiful card. It's also a Cancerian card, because it's the major arcana number 7, and it's the card that is the major arcana that represents Cancer energy. Um, so I think that he's been very brave. He's been very courageous, and he's like moving. He's moving with his teammates. He's moving. He's looking at the path ahead. He's very excited. He definitely is moving on from some. I think that he's slowly maturing, and that he is no longer a child. He's like somehow accepting that now he's like a young man, and that he needs to take more like more control of his life. There's something like, okay, I want this, like I have these goals in my mind, and I want to move, and I want to do it with the guys, but I also have to leave my like, I wouldn't say childish, but yes, probably the part of him that was a bit like unstable, or that was a bit like um, you know sensitive. There's something about him like, okay, I know my role in the world. I'm loving what I'm doing, like I'm doing what I love, so I want to dedicate this to be a better version of myself. So definitely he's been very brave. He's been very like also very optimistic, and he doesn't want to be stopped. I feel that this is why I got this sort of sense that this Four of Pentacles had to do with health. Because I'm like, he's so committed to keep advancing and to keep moving and to keep like like keep like following his dreams, and also fulfilling a lot of his wishes, and also he has big aspirations for himself. So it does make sense that he somehow was able to find, I wouldn't say like a cure, but to find some kinds of exercises or something that helps him like feel better and feel ready when he has to perform, or when he has to, be in the spotlight, and when he has to also work with others. I don't know why I feel like this guy out before, like before in Hypen, and before of this, I have the feeling that he's a very solitary kind of guy, a sort of loner, like, but I don't see it like him being alone because it was his desire, more like um, he was somehow like, you know, um, like somehow his, I don't know, maybe his family protected him very much, and they were like, no, you better stay home, or you better do this alone, or you better study alone, like somehow like I don't know, does he have um does he have siblings? Like, is he an only child? There's something about loneliness, about um, being left to to be lonely, like, but this is about his home life, um, I don't know if his parents were like, okay, you don't have to hang out with others because you can get contagious of something, or something. I think that the sort of paranoid thing it comes from family. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird, and I think that he's slowly, he reflects a lot about his life, because since he had been part of the group, and he had been experiencing a lot, like touring, like being everywhere, like meeting new people, his mind is expanding, and his view of possibilities, and his view of meeting different people, and accepting differences as well, or accepting things that are known to him, and somehow like being like curious about it, and not having any prejudice about it. I think that it's very interesting how he's slowly becoming a much more mature individual. He's growing a lot, and this is amazing. Um, Actually, sometimes with Cancer energy, especially the males, they tend to be very, very like um, close to home, and they just sometimes don't want to leave their family, or they are always nostalgic and think about, about what the family wants for them, and they have this sort of like loyalty, a very blinded loyalty to their family, and sometimes it feels like they cannot move on and being independent because they're always thinking about their families, and in this case I think that he's slowly like separating himself, or his younger self, to wanting to keep advancing, and just becoming a different person. He's like, I want to be different, like I want to be in control of my destiny, and I want to do what's best for me. Like I don't want others to, you know, like keep like opposing me somehow, or tell me how to live my life. There's something about him seeking freedom as well for himself, and it's very interesting actually. It's like he loves his values, like he respects his family, he respects where he comes from, but at the same time he's like, I want to see what's out there. I want to be a bit more daring, I want to go out there, I think that he feels a sort of very beautiful curiosity about, okay, what's out there, like I want to see the world, like I want to be more expansive. He doesn't want to be hidden. He doesn't want to be stuck in a place, even though there's something about, what I said about the routine at the beginning, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Swords. There's this sort of like, yeah, I know I have to follow a routine, but at the same time, I feel like I cannot breathe. Like somehow, yes, I have this stability. This is working for me, but at the same time, I cannot move. You, and it feels very claustrophobic. It's like, yeah, it's okay, it helps me, but at the same time I cannot move, and that makes me feel anxious. Um, then we have the Queen of Wands and the Hangman. So, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, maybe this is someone from the company. But actually, I'm thinking like this could be someone that he's interested in, a female, a queen of wands. I feel like this person is older than him, definitely. That's why I was like, oh, maybe this is like a CEO, a teacher. I don't know. I think that probably it could be someone like around his age, but definitely it seems like she has more experience than him. Someone that also is very intense, is very passionate about what she does, is also very outgoing. Um, I sense that he has a crush on this person. Definitely, definitely. But here with the handman, I don't think he will do much about it. But definitely, I had this feeling. I saw it. I saw her, and I was like, it seems like this is why he wants to show like a better version of himself. Somehow he's looking at this person, and maybe he's like admiring her, or being like, oh wow, she's so courageous, she does this, or she's amazing, she shines, she steals the spotlight, she's the center of attention, and I want that as well, and I want to be like her. There's something about admiration, but also he could have a little bit of a crush on this girl. Um, yeah, definitely. But with the handman, there's this feeling of like, okay, yeah, like not doing much, but actually, maybe fantasizing about her or thinking about her. Somehow also being a bit like caught up by this feeling, like not being able to let go how he feels when he's around her. I don't think that he sees her that often, but definitely when he sees her, or when he sees something that is related to her, his heart, starts to, he definitely is a romantic, but also he's someone that I think that he falls in love at first sight, like he's like that, and he gets all emotional all of a sudden. But I don't think, I don't know, maybe he sees this person as being like out of his league, or being like older and being wiser and being more popular, and he's like, oh, she would never like, you know, pay attention to me, something like that. But definitely, I think that there is very interesting, because probably, she represents all the attributes and qualities that he thinks that he doesn't have. So, it's like a sort of like he feels like he needs to be more courageous. So he sees someone that has these fire attributes, and he's like, oh, I wish, she's so cool, like, and she's beautiful and she's successful, and I like that, I think like, yeah, it's a very strong crush, because I think that it has to do not also with him feeling attracted to her, but also it has to do with him wanting to be like her. So yeah, it's very interesting, because she's somehow mirroring him what he lacks, or maybe, since he's in this process of like advancing, and thinking about like, okay, what do you want to do for yourself and by yourself and for your career, like, where are you heading in this journey, where are your goals, what are your aspirations, and somehow she comes in the picture, and he's like, wow, I want her, or I want to be with her, or I want to be her. There's this strong desire, that somehow also like allows him to open up his mind a bit, and to reflect about everything that is going on with him. He's definitely like also feeling much more passionate, because if I'm not mistaken, this guy, Sunoo, he has a moon in Aries. So, it does make sense that somehow he's going to meet this, probably a fire sign, or someone that has like fire attributes, and he's going to try to, be around these people, because they remind him of a potential that he has within himself, and he is still not, developing, you know, he's still not connecting with the fire in his energy. He's much more still on the Cancerian side, but he's slowly moving on from it, you know. And then from the card of versatility, yeah, definitely this year is all about versatility. It's all about, you know, him just keep moving. If you want to keep advancing, you know, and if you have to go back to routine, do it. But, you know, just don't stay stuck in one place. Just be versatile. Whatever comes up, you know, a tour, new opportunities at work, opportunities to do individual things, you know, take it. Take everything that is available, take it. And also show a very optimistic attitude. Be versatile. Like, don't get stubborn, or don't get like, you know, uncomfortable when things don't go his way. You know, just be versatile. You know, be open to any kind of possibility, because actually a lot of things could happen and opportunities could come his way on this year. So I think that is very important for him to stay versatile, you know, to not be like, okay, yeah, I was able to do this, okay, that's it. You know, I'm going back to my old ways. No, he has to remain versatile. You know, he has to remain in this energy, because he's going to open more opportunities for him. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.